All right, so Wes, today we're going to review BioShock 2.
BioShock 2, first-person shooter game. It's basically you're a big daddy, which is a big dude in a diving suit who goes to this underwater city called Rapture, which is based on like Ayn Rand type. You know, in the first game, it was all about Ayn Rand's philosophy of the self, and in this one, you're against people who are into like the group. And it's all like a 1930s and 40s kind of Art Deco look to it, like rusted out and destroyed. And you basically run around this underground environment, freezing people and then shooting them, lighting them on fire, hitting them with your drill, picking up little tiny possessed girls and deciding whether or not you're going to rip them open or rescue them.
Yeah, there's some element to this that I'm a little uncomfortable with. First of all, the character's name is Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
Second of all, it keeps ripping off little girls' heads. Is anybody else getting spooked out, or am I being like...
No, I gotta say, I thought it was a bit of a creepy game. I mean, the first one was too, but the first one was so different than anything you'd seen before that you're like, wow, holy shit. The second one is just like a longer version of the first game in a lot of ways. Like, there wasn't that much new stuff that I saw, but it definitely hit the creep out aspect just as strong as the first one.
Okay, and you're underwater the whole time.
You're underwater, but you're not underwater. You're this guy. That's Big Daddy right now. He's walking around. You got your rivet gun. His hand right there has a shock to it, so he can stun people with it or electrocute them if they're underwater. And it's, you know, if you like poorly lit environments with just stuff constantly coming at you, this is a good game.
That's what I was going to say. Why are so many games so poorly lit? Does that add to the ambiance?
It adds to the ambiance. So you're going through it and you can't quite see what's coming at you. It's like, you know, first rule of horror movie making is it's scarier if you don't show it.
Right. What makes this better or worse than other games where you're going around with a gun and shooting people?
Because it's more than just a gun. You're shooting a gun with this hand, but with this hand you're throwing like fire, you're freezing people, you're unleashing a swarm of bees on them.
Yeah!
And there's a multiplayer version for this one, like there are with so many of the games. The multiplayer version was okay. It was definitely cool because it was more than just, you know, using a gun. You've got your gun and all your powers. But, like, really slow load times, graphically not as interesting.
Now, can you play against other players or only
No,
with them?
you can play against other players in the multiplayer version, which is like so many other multiplayer things where, you know, there's a capture the flag version, there's kind of defend your zone versions, and then kind of last man standing and kind of team deathmatch type of stuff.
Team deathmatch sounds good.
Yeah, it is good. But, you know, this game, its strongest suit is its first person game, which doesn't really add that much from the first one.
So, in the end, I mean, would you suggest people get it, or if they already have BioShock, it's probably good enough?
If you're a huge fan of the first game and you just completely got off on it and wish it was twice as long, get this game.
Okay.
Get this game. If you're not into it, if you're not into killing like, you know, zombies and the kind of the dark storyline and everything else, you know, I wouldn't get it.
All right. How about if you don't have BioShock? And should you get BioShock or BioShock 2?
No, get BioShock 2.
So in that sense, it's definitely better.
Look, these are all standalone games. You don't need to play the first one or anything else to play this one. You know, graphically, it's more advanced than the first one. You have more powers than the first one. It's just kind of creepy.
Okay, there you go. I know, but you know what?
Okay, see that little girl? That's
Yeah.
a little sister. And what she does is she runs around the environment. You got to carry her around unless you just rip her apart right there. And then she sticks her little needles in dead people and drains out something called the atom, which is the power used to like buy new powers. So you can either rip her apart after she harvests it, or you can rescue her and be a nice guy. And if you rescue her and be a nice guy, like they leave you little teddy bears and stuff filled with new powers.
No. There's something wrong with this game. The guy who came up with this game with Big Daddy and carrying around the little girls or ripping their heads off, no, it's a little too much. It's a little over the top.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a little over the top too.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, oh yeah, I love to rip things apart. Yeah, badass, all that stuff. When Big Daddy's
Look,
like,
on the positive environments, when you freeze someone solid and then hit them with your drill and they shatter into 1,000 pieces, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I got no problems with that. That's definitely
You know.
badass. Okay, I'm in on that, but I don't want to pick up girls and I don't want to rip their heads off.
No. Or even be presented with the choice.
Yeah, no. So I'm not buying this game. Okay.
Well, wait, which games have you bought?
None. So check. This puts you in the same exact spot as others.
All right. Okay. I mean, a lot of people go, oh, dude, give me like a score ranking, like 1 to 10. I'm not going to give you a fucking 1 to 10 ranking. I just think it's not that great a game. Graphically, it's great. Technically, yeah, it's really proficient. But it just kind of creeps me out. And after several hours of getting creeped out, you're like, oh, enough.
All right, fair enough. There it is. Final word.